My. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hi, baby. Let me show you how beautiful it is here. It is so gorgeous here. You guys need to be here with me. Come on out. I'm serious. So today I got invited by my neighbors to go to Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Sasha, how come you're gonna
I have never, just a minute and I'll explain that, okay? I have never gone to that type of church before yet in my life. So of course I'm looking forward to going, excuse me, they're wonderful, so why wouldn't everybody else be wonderful? And it was great. It was a wonderful experience. People are coming, and no, I wasn't the only black person there. And no, I didn't wear my wig. I was terribly embarrassed with myself because I forgot to lotion my legs, but so we went to the first. See, I wish John was here. I wanted to make this video when he was here so that he could help me along as I made the video. So we went to 1 hour session, for lack of a better word, no disrespect intended. And then we chit-chatted a little bit. Oh good, John's here. Sit, join me.
What's that?
Sit and join me. Okay, so I was just telling the YouTube family that I went to Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Church, and our first session, what is our first session called?
What is the first? Oh, the sacrament meeting.
We went to sacrament meeting, and it was wonderful. I had some, thank you. It was wonderful, okay? The thing that impressed me the most, I really have to tell you, the little girl, I don't know what her name is, but even if, of course, if I knew it, I wouldn't say it in the video. So we'll call her Susie. So Susie's sitting there, very pristine. How old was Susie anyway?
I think she's 17, 18.
17. A little lady. A little, I'm getting there. Just hold on to your popcorn, okay? It's gonna be long. You should go get some popcorn and a soda. I'll wait. No, I'm gonna keep talking. You know I don't wait for you. So, okay, so check it out. So she's.
While you're talking.
No, it's a camera. I see me.
Why are you telling the other person to go get some popcorn?
Because I'm talking to my YouTube family.
Okay.
I'll explain. So she's sitting there, over here, and then there's a man, another man, there's a lady, and I couldn't see what was on the other side. So we're sitting in the first pew, thank God, because I like to be close up. I like to see, okay? So this little girl gave it really amazed me at the things that she said and her pure intelligence, because I talk to 16, 17-year-olds all the time. They're not like that. They're not that intelligent, okay? Just saying. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying, while she was sitting there, okay, it's normal to text, but I don't think most 17-year-olds would think the thought. What could, Auntie, could you give me something positive to say about my mother, especially with today being Mother's Day? And the neighbor and friend, and she did that. So she got up to do her talk, and it was almost like, like listening to Maya Angelou. This young little girl is just like, she spoke so eloquently, and she was very, her demeanor was, that of a professional spokeswoman, and she's got her notes there, and oh my God, I was just floored at how beautiful she is and how tactful and her presentation, and it was breathtaking. Y'all had to be there. Okay?
She was raised by goodly parents.
She was. Her mother. You give her this video. Whoever her mama is, kudos.
Did you meet her folks?
No. I'm sure, I know her mother was in the women's meeting at the end, but I didn't know which one she was, and I didn't want to make a spectacle, in front of the other women.
Sure.
Because, you know, it's just like kids. If you can't give to one, if you can't give to all, you don't give to one. So then we went to our next lesson. What was that called?
Sunday school.
We went to Sunday school, okay? Now, you know, in the back of Tasha's head, Tasha's like, when are they going to take the collection for it, you know? We get milk and cookies, coffee, you know? And I was surprised that I didn't have to go to the bathroom yet, because this was hour number 2. We're sliding to hour number 3, okay? So I'm sitting there, and, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm feeling the urge, you know, I might want to read something, you know. Even if I do stumble over a word, you know, I don't got a problem being wrong and acting crazy, okay? Because John was sitting right now. John's sitting in front of me, just so you know. He's sitting over there acting crazy. He's a hoot. I got to tell you, I'm trying to get them to make videos, wife and husband videos. They are so beautiful. I got to tell you, wait till you meet them. You're just going to die laughing. You're just going to be in stitches. Anyway, back to our lesson. It was a good lesson on the hows and whys of why we had the lessons of and the disciples that branched out to do more of the teaching than just Jesus by himself. And that was fascinating because I'm sure I read that in the New Testament somewhere. I didn't get it though. I got to tell the truth. I didn't get. So I love that. And you know, another thing that I really love about it is apparently, because when I went to the third session, okay, you just press pause on that thought, because I see your mouth is open. Just hold on. Eat your popcorn, drink your coffee, hold on to that thought. I'm gonna jump back to that. Let me fast forward for a second, okay? So in the women's meeting, what's that called?
Relief Society.
Relief Society. It was fascinating. A group of women talking about, you know, mothers. Yeah, that was good. And Okay, I'll just go back. Because I see I'm losing you. I see your eyes, okay? So in the lesson, I learned that all the other wards, don't go there with me, just hear me out. That's what they call the other churches, okay? Okay. Have the same exact lesson. I learned that in the women's meeting. I learned that. So what he's teaching today, what me and John learned in class today, all of the other wards are learning the exact same thing at the exact same time. Isn't that wonderful? Other churches don't do that. Food for thought. I'm not shitting on you, I'm just saying. Very wonderful teacher, wonderful lesson. Okay, so then I went to the women's meeting, you know, chit-chat a teeny bit until they're out of the room, and then they're out of the room, then we go in the room, and there was about, I don't know, it was about 20 of us. Excuse me. And another young girl. All these younger kids looked like they were 16. She was married, so you know, my woman thing is going through. Oh, she just got married or whatever, I don't know. And so she was talking to, Teresa about it a little bit and everything. And Teresa's introducing her to the other women. And it was so wonderful. We need to have more. Because, at the same time, the men are with the men, right? We need to do that more, okay? You fellas need to kick it with the fellas, old and young alike, right? Mm-hmm. Not just the old guys. For you young bucks who think you're grown, you ain't grown yet. Okay, it was really a wonderful, wonderful experience. So we had some young girls. We didn't have a whole lot. That girl who just been married recently, as far as I could tell, was 24, but she looked like she was 19. She's the most precious little thing. Oh my goodness. And so the wise women, the elders, the mothers of the church ward, were educating her. It's gonna be, just hang in there. It's gonna be all right, type of thing. I don't want to tell the conversation because that's not my place to tell somebody else's conversation. So, and it was so amazing to see her cute little tiny face. Suck it up, and you could see her eyes met her eyes, and was accepting of the information. Okay, rewind that. I'll wait. You ready? Okay? We're up. Okay. Because a lot of you young folks just don't. You think you're grown. You're not grown, okay? You're not grown. I'll let you think whatever you want. I don't pay your rent or bills. Oh yeah, neither do you. Your parents do. Okay? It was there. You know, she locked on the other married older women and heard. Okay, they were here. Okay? Pay attention, you young bucks who think you know everything because you've been married for a month. Listen to the wise ones. You know, like John and Teresa, who've been married for 25 years. I'm going to get them to do their own YouTube show, I'm telling you. 35 years, excuse me. You know, the wisdom is there. And the young girls were in there listening, you know. And it was so amazing. So the one lady, she got up and she was telling us, and another lady got up and she was telling us another, you know, her experience. And we had cookies, y'all. I brought mine home for when I have a low sugar day. Where are you going?
Go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay. I thought John was leaving. I was snatching back. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience because you're walking down the halls and there's people, you know, hey, you know, who are you? What is your name? And I'm like, you know, trying not to show my teeth, so I'm talking like this. I'm Tasha. Because I feel guilty enough. I forgot to lotion my legs, people. I went to church. Don't tell my mama, because she would call you and tell you to beat me for her, okay? So I'm trying not to talk and show my friends on the team. And of course, John would usually come scoop me up and rescue me. Yeah, this is Tasha, she's our neighbor. You know, but it was so wonderful. It was so wonderful. And I put it like that because, you know, when you go to somebody else's church, you don't know what to expect. So I'm not expecting anything. I mean, you expected like maybe one or two people, you know, hi, how you doing, shake a hand. You want a cup of coffee? You want a donut, something? No, all in the women, you know, and especially in the women's group thing, the Jigadale, you know, we're all, you know, so what did you think? And we had the lesson. Okay, so what did you think? And how do you, well, his mother, and then and it was so wonderful because she even brought up the thing about women who are, A, married, that don't have children, B, that are not married and do not have children, and how we have to embrace them too. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my goodness. It was just so invigorating. Okay, so question of the day, John, is, okay, so the second guy, and when we went to school, when we went to class, hour number 2. Okay, so he said something different about the Mormons, the Lutherans. Is there a difference between Mormon, Lutheran, and Latter-day Saints?
Well, he was referring to that book that he read about the family that was from Norway, I believe, and Lutheran being the state religion. It was what you were obligated or compelled to worship because it's a state religion.
Sorry, guys.
And I don't know any of the doctrine to speak of as far as the Lutheran religion. But Latter-day Saints are another way of saying Mormons. Were actually known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. When they say Latter-day Saints, that means that's referring to the fact that Joseph Smith, who restored the gospel in this last dispensation, which is now, and he did that in 1830. After the apostles were all killed, crucified, stoned, or whatever, after Christ was crucified, there was no gospel. There was no more gospel to be found on the earth. Went through a period of what they refer to as the Dark Ages. You've heard of that. There was no truth, very little truth or no truth, and that went on for a long time. There was a period of wickedness. And Joseph Smith come on the scene, and at the ripe old age of 14, you know, he asked that. There's a scripture in James, and I don't know the exact reference, but it goes something like this: if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God. And he did, and he prayed. Went out into a private place and he prayed, which of these churches should I join? And he was told, none of them. none of them had the entire truth. So through a period of time and education and so forth, he was educated through ancient prophets that come to him in the form of angels, Moroni being one of them. And
Say that again?
Moroni
Moroni.
being one of them. And through this period of time, they had written their people's history on what we refer to the gold plates. And he was told where these gold plates were buried, and it turned out to be Hill Cumorah. He couldn't have them at that point because the angel told him, "We're not ready for this yet." So over a period of years, he was told that he would have these same instructions, and finally he was told where these were, these buried plates, and he knew in his mind where that place was. He knew instinctively, instantly, that place that the angel described. And when the appointed time come, and it was years later after his first visitation, he went there, and sure enough, they were there. And it recorded the history of the ancient Americans. Like remember when Christ was resurrected, and they asked him, "Well, where did you go? There was a period of time that you were not with us." And he made the comment, "Other sheep that I have that are not of this fold." And he was referring to the Americas. There were people here. God's children were here also. So anyway, that was the history of the people in the Americas. And I kind of got off track of your.
That's okay. I don't mind. I've got a 3-hour tape.
Yeah.
That's nice. So I want to thank you. And the main reason why I did this video is because, John and Teresa are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. A lot of you out there have not been so kind to me, so I'm sure you have not been so kind to others who just want to learn. He's not trying to sit here and convert me and say what I could, shoulda, woulda, coulda, blah, blah, blah. He talks. Just talk. Just talk to people. We need to talk to each other so we can be further educated on things we don't know nothing about. Okay? So that's what really spurred me, other than those children at that church. Oh my God. Ward. They're just so intelligent, and they go to, what do you call it when they go away?
Well, missionaries.
And I felt so bad for the baby. She's a little tiny girl. Oh my gosh, she's so precious.
Yeah,
and she could call her mom today. She Skyped with her mom today. It was so adorable.
Tasha, that little girl, I introduced you to her just briefly before the sacrament meeting, and I mentioned that she was going to be our next missionary. Well, in the last general conference, and we have these semi-annual conferences to where we're able to get live feeds from Salt Lake City, from our living prophet. And one of the changes that have been made is they have lowered the age of eligibility that these young people can go on a mission. It used to be 21 for the young ladies. They figured they at 21, and if they had the desire and they were worthy to go on a mission, they were eligible. Well, they changed that to 18 for the boys from 19, and now the girls can go at 19. So that girl's got to be 17, 18, she's probably 18. And that's why she's so excited, and she's planning on a mission in a year or less.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, she does look like a little baby, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Little kid.
But then the other thing that I'm like, because she says, yeah, we only get to make, 2 Skype calls a year. So how often does she get to talk to her mama without Skype?
Twice a year.
Period.
I
only get to talk to my mom twice a year?
Well, you're not there to visit with your family. You are there to work.
I know. The greater purpose.
Yeah,
But it's just amazing. And I'm sure they probably do that in other churches too. I don't know about that. So if you do that, you let me know, and then I can get educate myself on how you do it. You know, but we've got to stop being afraid to talk to each other and stop being afraid to listen. Just listen. I learned so many billions of new things. I should have written them down. I wish I could have recorded in my brain as I'm watching these very handsome men speak today, you know? And the one gentleman who said, you know, the difference between mothers and fathers is the fathers look at it like a black and white movie, but a mother looks at it and does things in color. You know, and I thought, wow, that is so. Make a mental note. Could you imagine? You know, it was just amazing. I thank you for the experience. Thank you for not hounding me, but thank you for the experience. You know,
it's always every Sunday. So
I remember that. I remember that.
And you always got an invitation. You don't have to
wonderful.
Wait for us to say, Tasha, are you going to go with us? You be ready at 8:30 and we'll go.
And no, there was no collection. If there was, that must have been when I went to the bathroom. Oh yeah, I didn't go to the bathroom. So don't think that. I heard you. I heard you thinking. I know what you're thinking. Well, I say that because you know, I know you guys are going to leave some comments. So I'm going to restrict comments, especially for you not nice people who just want to badmouth each other's religions. I don't have time for that either. That is not my purpose for making this video. But a lot of you, you know, a lot of religions, you pass the plate 5, 6, 7 times in an hour. Just saying. I ain't mentioning ones in particular, but I'm just saying it was refreshing to go to church and not pass the plate. So
we have other ways of doing that. Mm-hmm. Let me explain that a little bit. Mm-hmm. You've heard of the principle of tithing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're encouraged to pay 1/10 of our income in the form of tithing, and we just don't do it in sacrament meeting. You fill out a little envelope and you mark out what your intentions for this donation are, and tithing goes for the growth of the church, and then they have an area where you can contribute to the missionary fund, you know, to help support these missionaries that are out in the field, or fast offerings for people that are less fortunate that we are, you know, they might not have a home, or, you know, just anybody that's less fortunate than us. Speaking of that, I gotta leave now. One of the things that I do on Sundays, not every Sunday, is the old folks' home is not far from here, so I get on my bicycle and this being Mother's Day, it would sadden you greatly to go in, and you've been in those places to where you go in there and all the ladies and a few of the men are sitting out in the foyer, and they're all dolled up, and they're all, you know, 80 and over, just wishing that there would be somebody that would come and visit them. And the majority of the time, it doesn't happen. So that's where I'm headed off to. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you for helping me be better educated.
Well, like I say, next Sunday too.
Thank you.
All
See,
right,
boys and girls, venture out, learn something new. Stop being afraid. Find a nice, wonderful person like John just to sit and talk to. All you people who just throw stuff at people and try to convert them, you need to just sit down, you know, have a cup of tea, relax. Okay? Anywho, I'm going to talk to you guys later. I love you. Love yourself. Mwah. Have a great day. Bye.